Good evening everyone and welcome to another tournament stream! Today I will be streaming the third day of the second qualifier for the EU server and I will be following group 1 today. I'm just waiting for the room invite so that I can accept that and then I will take you to my garage. I'm just hoping that everything works as intended because there's been some server issues for the EU server and yeah, I'm hoping that everything will be fixed. So far I've not yet gotten a room invite, so there is that. I'm hoping that it will come soon. It should be up any moment now. Let me just, it starts at 39. So we are a little bit away from getting a room invite. So let's just go look at the garage. Well, it's not the garage. This is the tour, the group that we're following tonight. We have U3 BPA, Ikra, DBU and 1 TED. So those are the teams that we'll be following. We are starting it off with Ikra. So Ikra versus 1 TED is the first matchup that we will see. And yeah, I'm just hoping that it's going to be fun and that despite the matches being postponed, it's not going to create any issues for anyone. So basically, the other groups that we have tonight are APA, SPNX, Hepke and Jokes. That's a fun group as well. A1N1, Raid, RJ and TQT. And we have Synergy, W2B, Finn and Quick. So basically, of all these groups, one team will qualify for the top 16. And that basically means that they do not have to, but also literally can't join any of the next qualifiers anymore. So in that way, it's all going to be sort of like thinned out qualifier per qualifier until we have a top 16. EU has 4 qualifiers, and basically that means that every qualifier, eventually 4 teams go through to the top 16. So if we go back, you see this, and then you already see 4 teams here. Pink, Zenith, Serenity and Aqua, they're all through already, and after tonight there will be 4 more teams that will go through as well. So right now we're really just waiting for the invite. It starts at 20:39, so that means that in like, what is it, 7 minutes we will have a room invite. I'm not going to start with showing you replay, we're just going to fill the time with empty chatter until we get a room invite, because with everything that's going on I don't want to actually risk missing the invite somehow. So yeah, that's basically of course, regular house cleaning. There's a 3-minute delay on the stream. That is so that no one can actually stream snipe one another, and that also means that interaction with the chat can be a bit tricky, just because of the simple fact that there's such a delay. So when you say something and I respond, you're 3 minutes later. However, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. You're free to speak any language that you want, but as long as please stay civil and polite, and know that unless you are asking me things in English, I will not actually be able to understand what you say, so I won't be able to reply. So that's basically the house clean. Oh yeah, and of course, another bit of house cleaning that I almost forgot. There are no rewards for watching the stream. Aside from just epic gameplay, you're not getting crates or bonus codes or anything like that. That doesn't happen. So basically, commentary and epic gameplay is what you have to do with. And that's all the, well, let's say reward that you're gonna get. So right now, like I said, we're just waiting for stuff to start happening, for the room to be up. And then we can see some battles. Let's see what map we're actually starting on. Vineyards and Yukon. It is the best of 5. That means the first team to reach 3 victories will actually go through to the upper bracket, and whoever loses goes through to the lower bracket. It is double elimination, so basically teams have to lose twice in order to actually be out of the competition as a whole. But then they can come back next qualifier and try again. So these were the matches that Ikra has played so far. Basically, they've not lost a single matchup with TQT, though. Those must have been some epic games together. And of course, you start with basically strongest versus weakest, so I have a feeling that statistically Rack Team 666 won't be the absolute strongest. But yeah. Let's see, we've got a few minutes left before the room invite will be up. There's never much to say here, to be honest. I can just feel the time and everything, but honestly, let's have a look at this. I mean, I've obviously not started this because this is my press account, so I don't actually play on this usually. So I'm just gonna have, just gonna show you. Basically, you get orders, and if you win a regular battle on the Super Hellcat, then you get the next order, and that involves destroying 30 tanks in tiers 4 to 10, and then you get a special camo, which actually looks quite nice. It's animated and purple. So that's quite nice. It's kind of like a curtain kind of thing. And then you get the next order, which is win 30 regular battles in tier 4 or to tier 10. And basically then you get a profile background, which actually looks quite nice. And you get another order. And with that order you need to get 6 class 1s or aces to get an avatar. And it kind of looks a little bit pixelated, but it looks quite cool, not gonna lie. So I'm currently on this order on my main account, and I still need 4 more class 1s. But I've got like nearly 2 days left for that, so plenty of time. And now you have to click everything away again to get back to here. There was of course this thing, which is how you could get the Super Hellcat, and basically it's not that great a tank. It's not awful either, to be honest. But yeah, free tank is free if you played, and it was actually fairly easy to get it. So I wasn't unhappy with that, to be honest, because I had it on my account and I got 1500 gold compensation, which is nice. But for the rest, yeah, you get some boosters and sometimes 5s. But overall, it's a fairly easy tank to get, and it's fairly cheap. So yeah. And of course you've got the Battle Pass, which is a Chinese styled one for the Chinese New Year. I actually quite liked it. I haven't driven the tank yet, mind you, but I like the way that it looks. I like the camos that you get in the Battle Pass. Overall, the thing is that with Battle Passes, they're good value. If you know that you're going to be able to do the missions, you can get quite a bit out of it. And in my case, license and Battle Pass also means that you have all missions unlocked, so you can work on it whenever, basically. And technically speaking, you could do all the matches in the last week of the month and still get everything. So 2 minutes left to go. Well, 1 minute and a bit left to go before we get a room invite, hopefully. And then we'll see. See, this is the thing. I'm not that good at just filling up empty space. I quickly run out of things to talk about, and there are stuff that I could talk about, but I don't think that's appropriate for a tour. For a tour stream, basically. So let's see. Room invite would be nice to get. Oh, I always hate this. I don't want to wait. I want to be in the room. Then I know at least I will be in the room and I can ready up and just basically make sure that I will be there to actually go into the match. Hello everyone that's watching, by the way. Like I said, 3 minute delay on the stream, so I'm not basically talking with the chat that much. But if you have any questions, be sure to just ask them in English, of course, because otherwise I can't understand. And then I will try and respond when I can, even though you will hear the answer with delay and everything. Room invite, come on. Can you tell I'm nervous? The reason that this is because there were server issues before, and I'm just really nervous about things not working as intended. So basically getting a room invite would settle my nerves a lot. see. No room invite just yet. I'm not a fan of this. Oh, there it is. Woo! Thank goodness for that. So now we just need to wait a minute and a half before we can go actually into the room, because that's the thing with 3 minutes delay, just to explain. If I were to be in the room now and teams were already readied up, then basically a team could see the lineup of the other team before the battle actually started. And that's mainly why I wait until the timer drops below 3 minutes before I actually go into the room and talk about lineups and everything. So yeah, actually oh dear, I'm in need of cough drops, but I don't remember where I last put them. Should be here. Yeah, there we are. Basically, I've got this. I've been doing stuff today, and it's sort of like replaced stuff elsewhere, so I've kind of like lost everything. So yeah, 40 seconds left to go before we go into the room. And then a further 3 minutes before we see actual gameplay. And then after that I need to see when the next upper bracket match is, because will be our next match. And I have some replays to show you in between to occupy you. And after that all the matches will follow each other quite quickly. Having some fans in the chat for the group that we're following. It's definitely an interesting group, to be honest. And I am looking forward to seeing them play. And there we go. Ikra. I know it writes Ikpa, but I've understood last season that it's actually pronounced Ikra. And if I remember correctly, it means shrimp. So we have shrimp versus wanted. And lots of serious is there. We'll have to look at what the rest of the names are, but I'm kind of hoping that that's after the stars rather than anything else. But for Venus, we see Ikra ready with 2 Batchats, 2 TVPs, a 215B, a Steve and an E5. This Steve is the Streetwagen K, but because that's a lot of words to say, it's just that, like you say, don't say 60p Lewandowski. I think I'm pronouncing that right. You say 60p, so it's just basically to make it easier to talk about. So Steve it is. Just under 2 minutes left to go. And Wanted is getting ready in an E100, a Steve, a Sheridan, potentially 2 IS7s, a 60p, and a Super Conqueror. I do hope that Series C will actually ready up. They still have some time though. Oh, and I got such good replays to show you in between though. Like, I was tuning earlier today. My friend was driving the Jaeger, and we had an absolutely amazing match. He did. And he aced the Jaeger for the first time, so that was awesome. And it was just such a weird match though. But yeah, there we go. Series C readied up in the IS7. And both teams seem ready to just go. The background and avatar missions are definitely a lot harder. But they're doable in the time that you've got. You got like 2 days to win 30 games. And then 2 days to get 6 for first classes races. Like if you drive a tank that you're comfortable with, then generally it's more likely to happen. It's doable. It's not easy, but it's doable. And I kind of like that Wargaming sort of like ups the ante with the different orders, just to keep things interesting. Let's see. That's a lot of speed though for Ikra. I'm very curious what they're gonna do with that. And if it's gonna be a very aggressive game, which is definitely possible. Let's see. Here we go. I'm going to assume those are greetings. The bad chat's heading towards base B. One tad heading towards the city area. Varta and Yevgeny capping and holding. TVP's going into the corner. But one tad is leaving Steve to protect the base A and has sent everyone else towards the city. There we go, base C now being kept. And we have Infinity just holding. Ikra is pushing over to go towards the other side. They're not actually capping the base yet though. They know that. I think they're gonna guess that he's there. Badjet going to cap. And they're shooting the right bush, just not the right place. And Steve is shooting the other bush. He does get hit for that. Well played. That's something that I've noticed them doing though. With light tanks, they're going to cap bases in places that you don't really expect them to be. And in this case, that gives Ikra a definite advantage, having 2 bases here. So the point difference will go up quite quickly. Darkside taking a hit there. So does Keloid. But overall, we have Cassiopeia losing quite a bit. There's a lot of Siriuses. So they are basically rushing in together. And I don't think they expect... Oof. Nagibato losing a lot of HP. We're missing half the battle because basically it's divided. Cassiopeia has been taken out. Nagibator needs to be careful. The JLA and Flame are in the ditch there, but relatively safe. JLA just took a lot of hits though. White Rose and Infinity pushing, taking out the JLA. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Just got taken out. Sirius not looking too healthy. There goes White Rose. I say Sirius, I meant Infinity. Nagibator has been taken out, but it is 5 versus 2. And even though Flame may not survive this, Lucifer is about to be deaded. There he goes. And we are already at 1k points. And AHGEJY actually does get to survive that. Honestly, I need a private lesson with how to pronounce names like this. And the thing is, my memory absolutely sucks, so there's actually a chance that I will still forget it, despite my best efforts. But I always just say the JLA, and I think I'm just gonna say Magi for the 1 TED IS7. And yeah, I hope you find my ignorance charming. Let me put it that way. Oh my god. See, that's the thing. I'm not a native English speaker. I'm from the Netherlands, so my mother language is Dutch. And I know English and everything, and I want to always pronounce names well. But because this is like sort of like made Latin from an entirely different alphabet, I have no idea how to pronounce that. And I will learn it eventually. But it will take time. Just like I learned that is Ikra and not Ikba. But yeah. Anyhow, with 33 seconds left to go, both teams are ready for the second game of this best of 5. We have Psycho using a Patchat. Then we have 1E5, a 215B, a Patton, a Steve, a 5th TVP, a Sheridan. Darkside might still change it. No, he sticks with the Patton. And one Tad is taking two 113s, a VK90, a Vickers, two 60DPs and a Super Conqueror. I hope he readies up in... No, he switched to an IS-4, but that was way too close, to be honest. Let's see. Let's see if they can do that. That is a cool camo, though. It was part of the Halloween events. Patton using a camo? Oof. I think that that's maybe what he wanted to fix. Psycho actually not going for the cap there. Oh, he might be onto something. Because he's not spawning anyone there. And he's spawning them crossing into town. And we see the first HP dropping. Babaxton losing a lot of HP. Yevgeny has been spotted as well. But he manages to not get hit for that. Base C is being kept. And Psycho can actually potentially cap that base. This is the thing though. See what he's doing. They're doing it again. He's just standing out in the open, not behind the bush, but because the bush would be the logical place for him to be, they're blind shooting the bush. Oh, and they do actually hit him though. Well played. Darkside holding in the middle has lost a little bit of HP. Ikra has a tiny advantage in points. I think they're gonna try again. I wonder if he's going to get away with it now. They're shooting at Skilloid. He actually shot the rock, that's not a good thing. Oh, beautiful. They have the base and look at the Margie just losing so much HP so quickly. What a ballsy move. And Psycho is heading off to greener pastures. Might just run into the Vickers here. Ooh, he might actually kill Magi. No, Magi is using the building to survive that. Blind shots into... Well, they want to shoot serious AH. Oof. That is brutal. The focus fire here, guys. Honestly, this is the Ikra that just was gorgeous to watch last season as well. They are absolutely brutal. And if they continue this season, it's going to be fantastic to watch. There goes Magi. Babaxton not looking too healthy. Is going to get taken out as well. Possibly. There he goes. And we're already 930 points. At this stage, they can just rush in and see what happens. Base B is being taken. He just rammed himself to death. But that's the thing. When you've got that big an advantage, you can just do that. And with Serious Infinity's death, Ikra has the match. Very well played. That gameplay at base B, that was just mwah, chef's kiss. Love it. Those are the matches I stream for. When you see moves like that, and it's just, it's interesting to watch and it's exciting to watch, and it makes me hype. One and a half minute left to go before we go into the third game of this best of 5. Potential match point for Ikra here. We are moving on to Yukon. Very different map. 4 bases for 1. But also just works very differently. And Wanted is taking 2 113s, a Steve, 2 60DPs, a Super Conqueror and an LT. Versus a very, very, very heavy team. We see 3 VK72s, 4 VK72s, a Patton, potentially an IS-4 and a 215B depending on what they're ready up in. No, 215B gets changed to a 60B or a Yo. That is some super heavy armor though. Oh my god. This could potentially be a troll lineup. With 5 VK72s, a Yo and an IS-4. That's the thing. Agassi just said it, nailed it. Yevgeny did what Eagle couldn't do yesterday in the Sheridan. The thing is that yesterday we saw a match on Vineyards with the Sheridan and he just went straight on in and he met the whole team. And he just got absolutely nuked. And he kind of did what Yevgeny did this last match. With the Batchat spotting base B like that. But that just makes it's a tricky thing to do and you might definitely not get away with it. And I think the Batchat is smaller, so in that way it might loan itself more for this. Like, if you see this lineup though, what would be your thoughts? Let's see. Oh, I am loving this, not gonna lie. All the VKs. All with different camos except for Darkside and Psycho. I'm not sure if I just say Psycho Yevgeny, I don't know. Wanted is capping base B. And having sent Mr. Cott over to base D. Base C is being kept. And we have the Yoni IS-4 heading towards the A side of things. Where they might meet. Serious Infinity. Like, this is not a well-known fact, by the way. Base A now being kept by Skilloid. But Orion is actually my favorite star sign. And Sirius is actually my favorite star. So that's why I'm really hoping that they've named themselves after the stars. A little hit into him. And look at these tanks just stacked in spawn. They don't know all of that yet. And they're just waiting for someone to make a mistake. And I think it's a trap. Flame got hit. They know that there's people there. Look at that glowing green camo though. It does look really nice. Dark side moving. Oof. That did not quite do what they hoped it would do, I think. We have Mr. Cott being set upon. Big hits into him. The VKs are not quite going into the base. But they are making things difficult for Wanted. Now they have to be careful. All those VKs though. If they all hit what they want to hit, those specs such a wallop. The JLA, not looking too healthy. Psycho is just pushing in. And JLA is trying to protect his teammate. JLA actually gets taken out here. That shot did not go in. But Buxton helping AH. And now we have Sirius joining in. And they are losing quite a bit of HP here. Oh, that shot missing from Warta. Oh, he's got 2 HP left. Psycho and Yevgeny are both gone. But they need to get the kills. We're at 910 points for Wanted. And they're just not getting the kills in. They are capping a base. But base B is still theirs. Base D is being reset. Wanted, for all intents and purposes, should have this if they don't YOLO in and lose tanks. They have to be careful. They have to survive this. And there we go. With that shot. And I have to say, Lucifer actually survives on 2 HP. Beautifully done, to be honest. All of Ted survived as well. If barely, but they did. So now we have Yevgeny in the Vickers. We see still VK72s being taken, but maybe not. A 215B, an IS-4, a Type 71. Let's see. Wanted is fully ready now with 2 60DPs, a 113, an AMX-54, an IS-4, a Super Conqueror and an LT. And on Ikra's side we see 2 VK72s, a VK90, an AMX-50B, 2 60Bs and that figures. "25 seconds left. Again, still potential match point for Ikra. If they win this one, then they're through to the upper bracket. And whoever loses this is through to the lower bracket. And let's see. I love this camo, the Jupiter camo. It looks so nice on most tanks, especially on TDs. It looks fantastic. We have Psycho heading towards the waterfall area. 2 of the VK72s heading towards base B. They are dividing their tanks a little bit here. Not going into base D, but expecting people there. Whereas all of Wanted is towards base A and C. Mr. God decides to not be there anymore. Darkside is capping the base. Shots are being fired. Sirius, Infinity. Lost a chunk of health there. Base A is now being taken. But Ikra will have a bit of an advantage here. Shots are being fired. The JLA losing a bit of HP there. But now they're all quite aware of who's where. Yevgeny has been spotted. Because where is he? There he is. Mr. God is in their spawn. So Yevgeny is heading the other way again. Both teams are quite spread out, but quite evenly matched versus each other here. If you look at the map positions. And they are shooting bushes and such like that. But not a lot of damage has been done. Oof, big hit into Cassiopeia there. The VKs are moving in. Have to be careful crossing over like that. Oof. AH has basically been left alone. JLA is losing a lot of HP, but AH is losing HP a lot more quickly. And there's sort of like, I don't know, the focus fire is not quite there. The beautiful smooth gameplay. Oof, JLA is not long for this world. Does still get another hit in, but that's gonna be it for him. Oh no, he actually bounces that. No, there he goes, never mind. Series Infinity gets taken out, base A has been kept. Nagibator is in trouble. Might still get a hit in, but that's about... Nope, never mind. He does not. Lucifer gets taken out though. And that fire definitely helped them here. Ikra now capping a 4th base. Dark side on a clip reload. Oof, he got nuked from behind. And now we just have Cassiopeia left. And Mr. Cot. Warta shoots him. And Mr. Cot tries to get another shot in. Does live to fight another day. But Ikra has the game. And they are through to the upper bracket. Let's see. That is a big difference between the damage done between the teams. Well played by Ikra though, but that match on Vineyards is definitely my favorite. And let's see, when is our next? Let's see, 9:30, so that's in about 28 minutes, 29 minutes thereabouts. Okay, so I've got some replays to show you. I'm gonna start with... I know it's a heartbreak, but I'm kind of curious what happens. Because I always try to not look at replays before the stream so that my reaction is genuine, so to speak. Unless, of course, I run out of replays, because then I just have to look at whatever. I'll dance with my tanks. Is that a version of I'll dance, dance, dance with my tanks? Let's see. This is one of those things, I know it's a strong tank, but I hardly ever drive it because I don't like it. It just doesn't fit my playstyle. And I know it's a good tank, it just doesn't fit me. No idea what's being said there. But usually when percentages are brought into it, not necessarily good. Let's see, Emil is all alone. Yeah, that's not a good thing. And he's in a... Oof, no, he's very, very alone versus a lot of tanks. He's dead. And that kind of means you have to push on the other side when you know that there's so many tanks down there. But a lot of people are afraid to lose hit points, and that's always a thing. And they're also not shooting the same target. Of course, it's not a tour, so they don't have to shoot the same target. There you go. And they kind of just need to keep pushing together, I think. While at the same time not blocking each other. Nice, third kill. Oof, he got smashed. And the fourth one. I mean, this is looking quite nice so far. It's mainly like, who are you going to help now? Because you're in trouble either way. So now it's just them two versus 3. But that's a lot of HP that they have. There we go. And that's a lot of armor. That's oof, that's tricky. That bounce, oof. Nice. He missed. He bounced. It's not completely impossible. God, I can basically feel the stress here, to be honest. Oof, that's not good. Oh, that's not good. He's stuck on the rocks. Aww. That would have been a Raz too. I think the only mistake would be dropping down in this case. Beautifully played. Glad you got points for that. I mean, you aced it, so you should have. But in this, when it's battles like this, him dropping down, yes, it made sense. At the same time, I think that's the only thing that I would have done differently. Overall, though, the team really wasn't the best, let's say. Oh, that's actually nice. Agassi just said like the chat in the beginning. There was a guy that was recruiting for a 7 vs 7 tournament in Tier 8, said he had people over 50%. And then the guy on Napoleon's team said only with Discord. And then they were being friendly. But that's the thing though, and I think that's one of the most frustrating things. We're used to pretty much everything being stat, being so toxic. So we're really used to assuming that whatever we see is toxic. And we do not understand the whole alphabet. And that's one of the reasons that the chat is being switched off. Which I understand, because things have been escalating, because you have Cyrillic speaking people that don't understand English, English people that don't understand Cyrillic, toxicity both ways because of that. And the thing is, EU was never chatty before, and even when it was, people were speaking English. Like, regardless of where they were coming from, there weren't whole talks, but the little communication that there was would be in English. And I think that's one reason why so many people are so frustrated with all the Cyrillic in the chat. And I will freely admit, I'm one of those. I've got nothing against anyone, but I dislike the fact that I do not understand what's being said. But yeah. And basically switching off the chat is definitely not a solution to everything. But I think that with the there's no permanent solution to this, and there's no perfect solution to this. But basically, the chat and the toxicity on the server have just been loads and loads and loads, and it's just not been fun that way. So I understand Wargaming doing something, and I think that this is the, well, I wouldn't say the best, but this is the quickest short-term solution that they can do, and hopefully they will work on a long-term solution. But yeah, I'm there pushing the Minotaur. And my teammate here is driving the Jaeger. Nice hit. The 405 is not happy that he got nuked. Minotaur is dead. And this is the thing. He was driving the Jaeger and he was trying to ace it, and we've had some good carries and everything, and it just hadn't worked. Oof, there goes the mouse. FE not happy. Nice little bounce. Look at those bounces though, well done. And he's just so polite and nice. Can't imagine why people wouldn't like him. So in this case, this was the thing. We had the IS-7 on one side. Oof, that hit though. And they keep trying to just... There goes the E5. Now it's 2 versus 3. We have the grill that is over there. And he's looking in that direction. And I'm just... Basically, I keep looking at my teammate here to decide which way I should be looking. Because if he's focused on one side, we can focus on the other one. So with him... There you go. I bounced that shot on the flank of the IS-7, which was frustrating. So I'm just gonna go over to take care of that IS-7, because he's the biggest threat right now. And I can take a shot from him, as long as the E5 doesn't shoot me too. There we go, now it's just the E5. And in this case, he's asking me if he can have the damage. And like, I'm fine with that, because I'm a one-shot. So I'm just gonna look like I need to survive. A little bit of a derp there. I'm behind the building. And I can just keep going behind the building to not get killed. Which is like a legit tactic, so it doesn't look sus. He bounces that. But then he gets the kill. And look at that damage though. Beautifully done. It was a beautiful game. It was so much fun as well. Like, the whole stress of being in that pit over there. See, that's the thing though, Agassi. I've been, well, not bilingual, but my English, like most people think I'm actually from Britain. Even though I'm definitely not. But my bilinguality, if that's a word, is both in the same alphabet, and that's the main difference here. And I'm really glad that you understand Russian, because I also know that when you're in the chat, well, Cyrillic I should say, not just Russian, because there's more countries that speak it. But when people type in Cyrillic, I know that you will catch what they're saying, so you can actually reply and just make sure that that they're polite and all. Let's see. I've also got a replay from Rolling Swarm that I'm going to show you. If it lets me. I always have to be very patient with my laptop. CE5 was my first tier 10 heavy tank. And the first tank I actually felt like comfortable in soloing first line. Let's see. I also find it funny to see what different loadouts people use and different consumables and everything. And I know that equipment differs per player and everything. And like, if you're ever wondering what equipment you should use or what consumables or provisions, try them out. Play a few battles with this, like 3, and then switch and then play 3 more and just see what works better for you. Because the thing is that everyone's playstyle is different. Even if it's slightly different, they're all different. So if you can find out what sort of what works for you, then you can generally perform a lot better. I hate it when it does that. And he's now nice. E5, I used to love it so much with the big giant cupola that it had, because it just made the gameplay so much more interesting. Oof, nice bounce. But like, to go back to the language thing in the chats and everything, I wouldn't be half as bothered if it was the same alphabet, because like, even if it's Spanish or French or German, most languages, I know enough to understand the root of what's being said, if that makes sense. So I think that that's one of the more frustrating parts as well. And I'm still surprised to hear that some of the chat that we see isn't toxic. But yeah. I understand Wargaming going for a switch off the chat for now. And then hopefully there will be a better choice later on. Did he actually think that he was unspotted already? I think he did. Nope, no, he's not there anymore. Juicy AMX. Oh. Oh, he did move. Let's see if they can cap the base. With a nice little pressure thing. Spaghetti more or less YOLOing in. He's gonna get deleted. My mom actually studied English, so she's always made sure that I speak the right English and not American, so to speak. Nice. That E4 is lucky, he just keeps surviving. He's now behind the rocks though. Three V5, 2v5, oh dear. It's not impossible. Just a bit improbable. Jäger is almost gone. Oh god, if he actually wins this though, how amazing would that be? He actually got that kill, that's very needed. Or he just calls him lucky. See, now comes the tricky part, because you have to focus on the enemy in front of you, but at the same time trying to make sure that the guy behind you can't shoot you. It's not E100, it's a Jäger, but okay. Oh. They're not the most difficult enemies to defeat, as in tank-wise. Nice. Good cupola shot. See, this is the kind of chat that is making it switch off. Just so much toxicity for absolutely no reason. Carry pens engaged. Beautiful game. Beautiful. 1724 basic speed. That is ridiculous. Well done. So let's see, how long do we have left? 8 minutes, 9 minutes. So I'm not gonna go into another replay there. Let's have a look here. Appa and Hapki are in the upper bracket, which means, oof, like all of these teams are top 16 worthy. Honestly, same here, to be honest. Well, it will be the same for most groups, I'm afraid. But yeah, if you win this, basically you just have like a free ticket to just relax a little bit. Exactly that. Agassi just said, I understand what you mean, is mostly something related to lingual families. For example, I can read Swedish and have a general idea of what is being said because of it being the same family as Dutch. It's exactly that. That's why I can, most of the European languages, I will have an idea of what's being said. Some of them not, absolutely not, don't get me wrong. But before the server merge, on EU server, pretty much everyone would speak English. Like I said, there weren't whole conversations going on in the battle chat. Not to the team and not to the enemy. So basically what happened, it was people just greeting each other and maybe making a joke or something. But that was about it. So it's not just seeing the different alphabets, it's also the amount that you see it. And then not understanding what it means. And knowing that most of what you were saying would mean that you're basically bringing... most of the chat that you see in the languages that you know is toxic, so you automatically assume that everything else is toxic as well. So it's tricky, and there has been a lot of toxicity both ways. So I do get it. Why Wargaming switched off the chat. I don't think it's a solution that works, but short term I understand. I hope we will get more quick comments to help with it. Because, like, for me, I usually would be specific about where I got shot from if I got killed and the guy that killed me hasn't been spotted. Or to say just basically, just survive. That's the thing that I've said the most. Because just survive is basically something that people need to keep in mind when you have the base and point advantage. So yeah, now we just wait for the next room invite to come. Kinda curious to see who is going to go through after this. And then of course we have 2 more qualifiers on the EU server. And of those qualifiers there will also be 4 people. And basically I'm sorry for the old sinuses every now and again, but it's just basically been a very exhausting day. And it kind of makes me just like, I'm trying to find things to say, and at the same time I don't want to be too negative, and I don't want to rant or vent or anything like that. I understand that it's a conundrum. There we go. Room invite, woohoo! Ikra versus U3 BPA. I'm being tagged places. But yeah, just over a minute left to go before we can go into the room. I do hope we get more quick commands like left and right, or the ability to say hello to either your team or to the red team. Even if those commands wouldn't work anymore after the battle actually starts, I would like the ability to still greet people. And that's something I will miss. I don't know. We'll see how it all goes. For now, I think we just need to endure and then see what happens. Ooh, we've already streamed for an hour now. That's the downside of basically things being postponed. And also the downtime between the first and the second matchup. But after this, the matches should follow each other quite quickly, at least. And then I need to, after all the matches are over, I really need to walk Joe, because he's going to have to be a little bit more patient for the matches to be over tonight. So, Ikra already completely ready for Desert Sands with 260 TPs, an E5, 2 Ice 4s, a Steve and a Sheridan. And on the other side we see U3 BPA, I'm just gonna call them U3 I think, with 260 TPs, an E5, an LT, and a little bit undecided yet, but they've got 2 minutes left. Oh, Darkside went offline. There he is again. I'm always a bit worried about, on evenings with server issues like we've had tonight, I am always a little bit more nervous about teams readying up properly and people going offline and everything, because like one team has to lose, of course, that's always the case, but at the same time I want them to lose fairly. I don't want people to lose because they have a player less, or because they have basically just lag issues and stuff like that. One minute, 8 seconds left to go. Ooh, tanks are being changed. U3 BPA now ready with 2 60Ps, 3 E5s, an IS-7 and an LT. But they might still be changing that as well. And there we go. 2 60Bs, an E5, 2 IS-4s, a Steve and a Sheridan. And there we go. They're still changing tanks. This makes it difficult to call out lineups, to be honest. LT has been exchanged. There's now a Sheridan on U3's side. But we are going to get battles. And that's the most important part. And that's always the part I'm looking forward to the most. Let's see. Pretty camos. Honestly, like, I'm not one for realistic. I'm one for the colourful and the fun. LT and IS-7. There you, oh, big hits there. And he spotted more people coming over. More HP is being lost. Varta not looking too healthy though. Being a bit too tall for that position. Quickie. Just look at the onslaught here. Brutal. So now Varta is hightailing it out of there. Base B is being kept. Would be surprised if they get away with that, to be honest. It does that get decapped there. That did not decap it though. And they get away with capping it. Base C is also being capped. And now they just need to not be in their base. And not absorb hits. So now Ikra has 2. Dark side takes it from Akasun there. Neep trying to shoot Nagibator. Pays for it with a lot more HP than he takes. JLA getting shots in. This is basically like there's a lot going on in every direction. And that makes it a bit tricky. Darkside is crossing all the way over. And I think he's doing that to spot Akasun. To hopefully get cross shots in. But Akasun is pulling back a little bit, knowing that there's people on the other side. And we have U3 BPA stacking their tanks here. Nagibator being pushed. Oof, Nagibator being pushed hard. Does still survive it though. U3 BPA is making their way here. The 60 DPs are waiting. Cross shots happening. Quickie losing more HP. And more. Pulling back. Yevgeny and Darkside both holding. Shots are happening. Dirty Neep losing HP. But this, the job that these two 60Ps are doing, they're tracking. Did you see that? They each tracked one, hoping to pause them enough to make it difficult. Darkside is not looking too healthy. Does get another shot in, gets taken out then. Lots of low HP targets though. Big hit into Neep. Into Ilbury. Neep actually got taken out just now. Nagibator is still alive, mind you. There goes Dirty Magnitude. And Devotion. And we're at 1k points for Ikra already with the bases. But just that, the way that they held that line. That was beautiful. And actually they both had a target. So even though Yevgeny could actually shoot the other one, he actually held there to shoot the one closest to his teammate to cross over so that he could track him. Akasun was tracked there as well. Beautifully played. See, I can actually add reactions as a spectator. I never do because I don't want things to be beautiful. Just over a minute left to go before we go into the second game of this best of 5. Ikra ready with 2 E5s, a Leo, a 60p, 2 IS4s and a Sheridan. And on the other side we see 2 IS7s, 2 60ps, 2 E5s and an LT. Let's see. Kind of curious to see how the Leo will perform. Like, the Leo has like laser accuracy, which is fantastic, but it's also very, very juicy. And here we go. Again, pretty camos. Very orangey camos, lots of them. I like this one though, it's pretty. Varta again. Heading for the middle. Leo getting ready for the crossover. Varta not actually spotting anyone though. People are getting spotted in the middle. Oof! Big hits into Flixie who's almost gone now. Varta takes a hit. Tries to reset the base. Does not get that. Takes another hit. That is tricky. And they will need their base because now U3 is doing exactly what Ikra did last game. Capping the bases, taking the lead that way. Base A is now theirs. And Ikra is well dug in. But there's just a lot of tanks here. And they have to be careful. Akasun is there. Oof. Skiloid taking big hits there. That's the thing. Leo is so juicy. He needs to not be there. He needs to survive somehow, but I'm not sure he's gonna. Skiloid gets taken out. Akasun not looking too healthy. Lots of low HP targets again. But they're not being taken out. Akasun gets taken out. Dirty Devotion is gone. JLA actually protecting Nagibator here. Dirty Ilbury. Next to the line, JLA taking the hits here. Trusting Flame to take him out. 6 versus 3. Flixie finally goes down. Took a long time though. He survived a lot longer than I thought he would. Dirty Neep is still alive. And Magnitude, but they're not long for this world. JLA does still get taken out, but there he goes. And the game is for Ikra. Very aggressive game so far. But beautiful to watch. And this was, again, just the coordination from Ikra is just beautiful to see. And both these teams are great. I've seen them both last season. It was fantastic to watch. Just over a minute left to go. Potential match point for Ikra. If they're going to win the next game, then they are through to the grand finals and one step closer to qualifying. Ikra now ready with 3 IS-7s, an AMX 54, a Steve, nope, there you go, 3 IS-7s, a 60DP, a Steve and 2 E5s, whereas U3 is taking 2 60DPs, an IS-7, an IS-4, a 215B, a Sheridan and another 60DP. Let's have a look. Can Ikra follow this streak? And honestly, like, it's matches like this. I know I sound tired and I sound drained, and I really am, and I'm sorry for that. But matches like these are just beautiful to watch, and at least I can still give commentary, if not basically I run out of words to say in between the matches. But it's just beautiful to watch this kind of gameplay, and it's exciting. It's not boring or still or anything, and I like the fact that there's so many different basically lineups now. It's not all type 71 spam anymore. Flame losing quite a bit of HP, crossing over towards base C now. And actually they're leaving base B behind. They're not going for it. I'm not sure what they're going for, because Flame is now potentially in trouble. He's going to take another hit. Not sure what Ikra's game here is. But there's a... Oh, Flame is in a lot of trouble here. Has lost a lot of HP. Has to be careful. He's getting shot from everywhere. Oof, big hits into Nagibator as well. This seems to be miscommunication on Ikra's side. Flame is gone. Ilbury is dealing with Skilloid. Yevgeny is almost gone. Ilbury only has 25 HP left. And he does get taken out. But Yevgeny has also been taken out, and Skilloid is not going to be long for this world either. Especially not with the way that they're working together here. Bulbul is getting shot from the other side as well. But can Skilloid reload in time to take him out? No, actually the Bulbul will reload first. And he bounces. Oh, and so does Skilloid. And that's the end of Skilloid. And so far, U3 only has lost 1 gun. 2 guns now, but HP wise there is a lot not going right here. Devotion is taken out. Varta has to be careful not to expose pretty much any part of himself here. Akasun, still full HP. JLA making a brave move, but I'm not sure it's the wise one. But he's sort of forcing his way. Wanting to take out FlexiB. Oh, and he does manage to do that. Akasun in trouble. Well, not actually in trouble. The two he's fighting with are in trouble. There goes Bulbul. Darkside dropping down. And there's just a lot of HP. Dirty Magnitude gets taken out. Darkside is going to be in trouble as well. It is 2 guns versus 3 guns, but Akasun is way too healthy here. Darkside is holding, if barely. They need to take out Bobo if they want to win this. That was a shot fired. He's not daring it. And by now he's almost reloaded. This is way too tense, to be honest. They're just... Oh, he doesn't hit! He didn't hit! He didn't hit! Nagibato trying to turn him. Oh my god! They act... How on earth? Ikra won. What a game! Ridiculous! Fantastic! And ridiculous at the same time. See, this is... Basically, this hypes me up. Yes, I'm drained. Yes, I'm tired. And it's not going all that well with me. But look at this. Fantastic. Absolutely beautiful. And look at the damage difference. There's like 50 hit points. 56 to be exact. Hit points between them. Oh my god. What a game. Oh. Well done. What a game. So let's see. 4 minutes left before we go into the next battle. Just over a minute left before we can go into the room. And honestly, games like this, like, yeah, any day. It's ridiculous. Those are the kind of games, though. It's not... It's just... They're weird. I really thought that Ikra was going to lose that one. Because of the fact that they were just caught out in the open. And Flame was in so much trouble so early on. And they seemed to be caught in horrible positions. And somehow they still made it work. I think if Akasun had stayed in base B. And helped Flixie B. Then it might have been entirely different. He had the most HP, he had the most to lose, Akasun. And that one shot, not penning, as, oh my god, what a game. That is just, yeah. And we're almost ready to go into the room. And then we can get ready for the next matchup, which will be U3 BPA versus DBU, which means that one Ted is out. All the Siriuses are no longer here this evening. And we have DBU ready with 2 IS-7s, 2 IS-4s, 2 60TPs and a Steve. Whereas U3 is taking an IS-7, 3 IS-4s, 2 60Bs and a VK-72 to Dynasty Sprawl. Should be fun, this. One super heavy. For the rest there... I have a feeling that this is going to be a straight up brawl. Might be entirely wrong, mind you. But yeah, in less than 2 minutes, the battle will start and we'll get to see what's going on. Good morning, Mutsu. 1 minute. And then we get to see what happens. It's only the lower bracket. Whoever gets through this still has to face Ikra in the grand finals. And then we know who is going to be through to the top 16. And right now we're just waiting for the battle to start, to be honest. Not much to say. Haven't seen DBU fight yet. So no idea what they're like. But we know that U3 BPA can do absolutely beautiful things. And here we go. This Pearl is really not one of my favorite maps. It can work nicely, but it's mostly just basically, I don't know. I'm not too big a fan of the gameplay here. Now that being said, DBU all sticking together, going towards the base C area, whereas U3 BPA all going towards the base A area. They're gonna miss each other this way. I think they're all just wanting to go for it. Morty going for the cap. I think they're going to try and decap it. And they do, if barely. And that will give them a slight point advantage. However, it's very, very slight. And DBU is nicely dug in. But it will be up to them to make a move, and that's going to be tricky because right now U3 BPA just needs to defend. And DBU seems content to potentially blow away a lot of HP. Look at the kind of box that they're creating to make sure that one of them will at least be able to cap the whole base. Well played. Only green is taking damage for this. Rambo a tiny bit, but they have the base quite securely so, without green losing more HP there. But overall, that didn't cost them nearly as much as I thought it would. Because now it will be up to U3 BPA to make a move. Green losing more HP. Flicks the B behind there. And he's just trying to stay safe and not be there anymore. Akasun at the back there, losing a lot of HP there. Neep taking a hit. Base B now being stolen. Not so much stolen as more pushed through. U3 BPA going for the push, going after Talexado, and they do take him out. Magnitude losing more HP. Almost gone. Gets taken out Magnitude there. That was a failed crush attempt. Pogromga has been taken out. Rambo is gone. So is Akasun. But U3 BPA definitely has an advantage here in guns and HP. C is being taken, but they don't really need it. It's just basically for extra safety here. There goes reaction to a fire. Nableto Staying alive right now. There goes green. Survived a lot longer than I thought he would. With reaction. Trying to survive, but he's the last one left. And he's pretty sure he's going to take his head off. No, no. He gets to keep his head. But U3 has the match. And that's a good start for them for this matchup. Well played, very aggressively played. They just sort of like wrapped around them, forced DBU to react. And let's see. DBU now taking 2 E5s, 3 60TPs, a VK72, and a Steve. Versus 1 IS7, 3 IS4s, 2 60TPs, and a VK72. And I wonder if they can bring this back now, DBU. Because earlier matchup, let's actually have a quick look if the game lets me. Luckily we're in Group 1, so it's easy to find. They won 3-0, but they lost 3-2, so it was fairly close. So in that way, anything can happen. Half a minute left before we go into the second game of this best of 5. No real passages yet, no one's up for match point. And let's see. It's kind of nice to see that, like I said, like the new meta is just more versatile. More fun in that way. Because it's less predictable. More different tanks can get taken, more different combinations. A little bit of a Tesla gunshot there. And let's have a look. I like all the missiles going up and down and all. U3 BPA heading towards the BC section. DBU heading, splitting up there a little bit. Going a bit into every direction. Which could be very costly. Green holding there. Not wanting to get spotted. With reaction. Does get spotted, but pulls back. Spots most of them though, so they know where most of them are. Now if Akra, green taking a hit and into Bobo for 630 damage. But U3 BPA is really just pushing into it. Flixibee making sure that green hangs around a little bit longer. Monty taking a hit. But green losing more. Morty. I keep saying Monty, but it's Morty. With reaction. He's about to witness quite a bit reaction, I think. They want to take out green. And green gets taken out. Morty is being farmed, gets set on fire, and that takes him out. Rambo in the middle. Not looking too healthy. Gets focused and gets taken out. Oh, Teroxedo in trouble. Lots of guns around him. Most of them are actually like passing through. And there he goes. And we have Ilbury actually blocking Procomna in the hope that his teammate stays safe. Like, they have a 2-gun advantage. They have a 2k HP advantage. Akasun just crushed someone to death. We missed that. Because we're focusing on this battle here. Ilbury not looking too healthy. Magnitude going to take a big hit there. Oof. Ilbury gets taken out. 4 versus 3. Flixie is not looking too healthy. There goes Pogromna, and it's just Napaletto that is left. Flixie does get taken out there. But Napaletto is not going to be able to win this. There's just too many guns to... Like in a potato situation, he might have. All these guys are pro. But there's just too much HP, too much gun to deal with. And it's Magnitude that takes him out. And the game is for you three. Well played. Quite aggressive again. But it seems to be working for you three. I think in this case, DBU actually splitting up their team to try and catch them is actually what cost them the game in the end, because it left targets alone, and basically U3 is just very, well, aggressive in their game style, to be honest. And it's working for them versus DBU. For Fort Despair, they're now taking 4 IS4s, a 113, an E5, and an LT, and potentially one of the IS4s will change. It's a Kranwagen. And on the other side, we see a 113, 2 IS4s, an IS7, and a Concept 1B. And potentially 2 60DPs, but it kind of depends on what they ready up in. 35 seconds left to go. One of the 60Ps is being changed to a VK90. The other one is readied up. And there we go. Countdown clock has begun. And then we'll see what happens. Potential match point for you three. If they win the next match, then they are through to the grand finals versus Ikra again. Let's see. DBU heading towards the A and B area. U3 doing the same thing, but sending Ikra soon to spot anyone heading towards base C. He's not going to find anyone there. Kranwagen with the function of holding the middle ridge here, I think. He does spot most tanks from DBU. Shots being fired. And they're holding. They're not actually pushing. I think they know that there's more tanks there. But they seem a little bit hesitant. First blood has been drawn both sides. And now they're pushing, but they seem very hesitant. They seem to not be sure what they want to do here. Flixie B losing a lot of HP very quickly in the middle. Ilbury as well. They're not making really use of that gun advantage here. They're trying to keep Ilbury alive. Ilbury is still alive, if barely. Reaction is almost gone. Flixie B gets taken out, but there goes Reaction. And DBU is basically wrapping it around Rambo needs to take. They're actually getting in each other's way here. And that allows the rest of DBU to get behind them. And actually, U3 is at a... Well, now gun-wise, it's equal again. Napleto. We have Akasun running around behind the back. Dirty Monty gets taken out. But there goes Napleto. Bobo is not looking too healthy, gets taken out. And there's just a lot of HP here, that's the thing. Akasun takes a hit. And that hesitation helped. They're leaving the VK90 for last. They're going after with reaction. They kind of have to. Magnitude gets taken out and now it's just Akasun. And again, if this was any random battle, I'd hand it to him. But this is Tool and they know how to track and they know how to make use of their tanks to the max. And there's just not enough HP. There's still a chance. A small chance. Oh, but there he goes. And the match is for DBU. Look at the damage spread though. Oof. I think in this case it's the hesitation from U3 BPA that cost them this game. They were hesitant to push in and they were hesitant as they were pushing. And they, even though part of it was trying to save their mates, it also meant that the people behind, flanking around from DBU, could get behind them. 1 minute 20 seconds left before we go into the next game. And we have U3 BPA ready with 4 IS-4s, a 60p, a Kranwagen and an LT versus an E5, a VK90, 2 IS-4s, a Steve and a 260ps. Again, potential match point. Any match that U3 wins puts them in the grand finals. DBU has to win 2 more for that to happen. Let's see if U3 can take this home. And here we go. DBU now going for the seaside. FlixDB heading towards the ramp to see who is there, and to spot some people, and he does. And he actually he takes a lot of hits for that. Ouch. FlixDB does not want to be there anymore. He's lucky to survive. Base C will be DBU's. And we have Ilberry heading towards the middle here to get base B. I'm not sure if they're going to allow him that. They do decap that. Oh. Big hits into Ilberry. They have base A. They decide to leave B for what it is. Monty in potential trouble with 60p's arriving. Ooh, that did not pen. That did not pen either. 60p's both not landing their shots here. U3 BPA has the bases. All they need to do is hold. They have a disadvantage in HP, but not by that much. And we have reaction being set up on multiple sides. FlixiB is very not looking all that healthy. Look at that. Reaction is almost gone. And that is forcing DBU to push on the other side. Reaction is gone. DBU is pushing. Taraxeto is trying to get base B, steal it. Dirty Morty in trouble, losing a lot of HP very quickly. Base C is being kept. FlixiB using his limited HP to do what he can do best. But he does get taken out and they did not get the base. Base B is still being contested. Bobo is still alive. He's actually using Napleto as armor. But Bobo goes down as well. Akasun. They really need to keep their team alive, and that's an oof. With reaction gets taken out. 4v4. And the Ikra does not have the best DPM, and that's an issue on its own. Oof. Rambo gets taken out. Ilbury has been gone as well. It is 3v3, but green is not looking too healthy. They need to make sure the shots kill though. And Akasun does just that. Nip trying to take base B. Napleto not looking too healthy either. But there's still a lot of HP for U3 VPA. And with the advantage that they have, they just need to keep base A. And Napleto is going for that. But he's not capping. He's surviving. And that's oof. Dirty Neep. Not surviving. Postpones a little bit, but it's still, with this kill, U3's game. And they have the matchup, and they are through to the grand finals. Well played again. And there we have the next room. Ikra versus U3 again. And whoever wins this is through to the top 16. Oh, that's the JLA actually in the chat. Woo! It's basically... It's flexible, of course. I keep saying flexibly. But yeah, flexible actually makes more sense. There's just too many E's in there. Oh well. Like I said, I hope you find my ignorance charming. I'm pronouncing all the names wrong. But yeah, 1 minute left to go. Let's have a quick look how the other groups are doing. Ooh, Chokes got knocked out here. It's Hapki versus Apa. Then we have Raid versus RJ. And that is still going, so we don't know that yet. That's gonna be close though if that's still going right now. But yeah, either Ikra or U3 is going to be through to the top 16. And I've no doubt we'll see the other one back in the next qualifier. I do kind of feel for Joe. I'm dog sitting right now. Well, he lives where I live, but he's not technically my dog. I love him to bits though. But right now, I have to take care of him. And usually around this time, I take him out for the last round before the evening, and then basically have this whole routine, and he gets some sweets, well, not sweets, snacks before we go to bed. And you actually say, oh, let's go to bed, and he goes to his bench and everything is so cute. But usually we start walking around this time, so I'm actually going to be a little bit late tonight. And he's probably going to be upset with me for that. Because he's like, he's one of those people that is just like, well, he's not people, he's dog. But he's a doggo that's like, he knows exactly when it's time for what, always. And it's so cute and funny. So yeah, for the grand finals tonight, we are going first to main runes. And U3 is taking 460Ps, a VK72, an IS4 and an IS7 for that. And Ikra seems to be a little bit undecided, but we see an IS7, 2 E5s, and a 60p. Would be very surprised if they take a Chieftain MK6, to be honest. Because it's just so juicy. And let's see. One and a half minute left to go. Ikra just needing one more to ready up. And there we go, change the tank into an IS7. So that would mean potentially 3 IS7s, 2 E5s, 60p, a Steve. Kind of curious how this will go, because that's a lot of firepower on U3 BPA's side. But there are weaknesses to the tanks, and actually, no, they are changing tanks still. They have 50 seconds to do so. There we go. 3 E5s, 2 IS7s, a 60p and a Steve for Ikra. And let's have a look. Best of 5 again, so the first team to reach 3 victories is through to the top 16. And seriously, if all those 60Ps manage to hit all their shots, that's gonna be very, very dangerous. But the guns are a bit troll though. Ikra heading towards the B and C area. Getting stuck into temples again. U3 BPA doing the same thing. Quickie moving closest towards the base, but he's alone. Skidoid going for a tentative cap. Both of them are spotted. And Quickie seems to want to hold. Oh, Skiloid taking a big hit there. Many shots fired. Not many went in. But they have the base. And that gives them a bit of pressure. Quickie is spotted again. Dirty magnitude. Losing some HP, so is Warta. Oh, Warta being a bit too forwards there. Big hits into Bobo. Warta is in trouble. They're pushing over towards him. Varta driving down. They want to get Varta. It's not given to them for free. Steve here does take a hit, but should take him out. No, he bounces. He doesn't have the luxury to miss again though. Quickie is the first tank gone. Base C is being stolen. Bobo should be the next tank gone. Oh, but he isn't. Yevgeny gets taken out. Very aggressive gameplay here. Bobo is gone. Skilloid is alive, but by the skin of his teeth only. And now we have Akasun arriving. Oh, there goes Varta and Flame and Skilloid all at once. Darkside wants help. Oh, gets help. That'll do. Base C has been taken. It is 3v3. But there's some big armor there though. And big guns. Darkside moving in. Getting that big hit in. Steel JLA. Being in a bit too juicy tank here. Has to be careful. Darkside currently unspotted. But they're not stupid. I wonder who's going to be caught more off guard. Magnitude or Darkside? And he does take that kill. That was very much needed. And now we have Magnitude crossing over. And actually he's turned and that's... Oh, that was very needed. Wow. Ikra taking all the kills just as they need them. And White is still alive. Akasun is going to take him out, but he's actually a little bit stuck now. And JLA gets the winning kill there. Well done. And the first game is for Ikra. Beautiful. See, games like this, when it's so close, you get like that flanking move from Darkside there when he was unspotted. I like the games tonight have been really good fun. They've just been so many moments where you're just like, wow. One minute, 12 seconds left to go before we go into the second game on main rooms. No real passages yet. Anything can still happen. Steadily readying up here. We see an IS-7, IS-4, potentially 4 60dps for U3 and a mouse. And Ikra is taking an LT, 2 IS-4s, 2 60dps, a Steve and another IS-4. Or maybe Skilloid will change. And here we go, countdown clock has begun. Everyone is readied up just in time. And we have Yevgeny heading towards the C area. Having a quick spot to see if anyone is there. But no one seems to be. I'm going for the cheeky cap here. Most of both teams are in the middle though. And they do spot one another. Morty not going into cap the base, but he is in the middle. Varta. This seems to be a trap, to be honest. C has been kept. Varta landing that hit there. Mouse flexible. Heading towards base A. Morty losing a little bit more HP. Both teams have players lying in wait. Flexible has been spotted. And we have Ikra pulling back. And dropping down. Going after the singular gun at the base B area. This is gonna be tricky though. Dark side. Oh, losing a lot of HP very quickly. He shoots. I don't think he actually penned. Dark side is gone. Ilbury is not long for this world. Skilloid wants to go after that kill. Oh, but he does not get it. Gets taken. Oh, Morty. That was an Amorak. Yevgeny got taken out. He's not even driving his 60 TP. How is that fair? Ilbury still alive. And this game will almost definitely be for U3. That Amorak though. There goes Flame. Varta, one of the last ones alive. JLA. Almost gone. Gets to survive a split second longer before Flexible blows him up. So many low HP targets though. That is the thing. But just too many targets not taking the kills. And basically just U3 BPA managing to keep their tanks alive enough. Bulbul is gone. And Flexible still has so much HP left. White. Waiting. They're both waiting for each other. Oh, and White loses that match. And Varta is now the last one left alive. And one way or another, this is U3 BPA's game. Well played, beautiful. These are the kind of games, like I said, I like games like this when it's so close. And in this case, I'm not entirely, well that Amorak certainly didn't help Ikra. But just very well played, aggressively played by U3 BPA. And it seemed to be starting quite slowly. U3 now ready with a nice full 2 60dps, 2 E5s, a 215B and a Kranwagen as we get ready for Normandy. And Ikra is still deciding on what to drive, but we see 2 E5s, a Steve, a 60dp, potentially 2 more 60Bs and a 215B. Let's have a look. There we go. 360Bs, a 215B, 2 E5s, and a Steve. And there's the countdown clock. And let's go. Again, no repassages yet. There's no match point for either. Nice rating camo on the 60p. Very few fast tanks this matchup so far. There's the plane. Both teams heading for the bases closest to them and sending a bit towards the middle. U3 will have this cap and the point advantage a little bit earlier. And we have Flexible actually on the beach. That's going to be interesting to see. I think they're hoping to catch up. I know he's actually going more into the middle now. Going up the ramp. Morty spotted in the middle. First shots fired. No damage done. Psycho. Again, no damage done just yet. It's nice to hear the gun sounds, but you don't see any HP drop away. Varta holding. Right now there's not a lot happening. Both teams have basically their guns stacked in places so that they can build on each other. Sometimes they shoot and do no damage. Yevgeny is sure that there's people there when there's actually no people there. A is now being kept. And that's where White comes into play. He is being shot at. Yevgeny doing a little bit of damage there as well. And now White just needs to get unspotted again, but base A is protected, they know now. And immediately you see like a different reaction going on the other side. Because they reckon they have a gun advantage here, and they would be right. Morty losing some HP, Akasun going into the middle as his magnitude. Flame is being careful. Quickie has been spotted though, as has the JLA all the way at the back there. Dark side pulling back, using the building. U3 BPA seems a little bit impatient here. Oof. Varta getting kranwagened. Yevgeny not shooting yet though. B is being kept. And we have White coming up behind them. They're going after the kranwagen. U3. Ooh, that shot not hitting. They've lost Varta. Darkside is in potential trouble. They can't really shoot the one shots. There you go. He does get Akasun. Important shots are not going in both sides. Darkside is almost gone. Is going to be gone at this reload. Yevgeny has also been taken out. To me though, this feels more like it's Ikra's match to lose. Bobo almost gone. Oh, he gets to survive another reload. Skilloid not looking too healthy. Magnitude gets taken out. Bobo finally goes flame. Got ammo racked. White. It is 2 versus 3. And it's just too much. Too much gunpowder. And I very much wonder who's going to take this. Because now they have corpses. And of course Flexible is still there. Oof. And they have the bases, that's also a thing. And if they just come together. JLA, technically yes, it's possible. It's not likely. It's not probable, let's put it that way. And after he takes care of him, he steals a very healthy... Yeah, that just... Not very healthy, but healthy enough to take multiple reloads. And U3 has it. Very well played by U3 here. But it seems like a bit of... I mentioned this to him yesterday, panic football. When it's kind of like you're not entirely certain what to do, so you're doing everything. And you're not succeeding at anything because you're doing everything rather than one thing. And it kind of felt like that way with Ikra here as well. They seemed a bit lost. And the focus fire just wasn't there, and that's one of their strengths. When you see their focus fire that they can do, it's absolutely beautiful. And U3 just made them pay for it. So now we have Ikra ready with 3 60Ps, a 215B, 2 E5s and a Steve. For the second game on Normandy. And U3 is taking a nice full 2 60Ps, 2 E5s, a 215B and a Kranwagen. And they are still changing tanks around a little bit. It's 2 215Bs that they're going for this time. And let's see, 12 seconds left. Also, for people asking questions in the chat, I really have no idea what you're saying. Here we go. There's some map coordination here. Yevgeny going first. There comes the plane again. U3 heading for the base D section except for Ilbury, which is holding right now. We have White on the ramp. D is being taken. C is not being taken though. I think they want to take A. But this is a tricky thing to do. I always like when they don't go for base. That's always a bit tricky. Morty, Lancish. Oh, big hits into JLA there. And I did need to point out actually, U3 is up for match point. If they win this game, I believe, then they are through to the top 16. U3 relocating. Ikra pulling back as well. They have base A now. Flame deciding to not want to be there anymore. And Akasun spotting Skilloid. Oh, big hits. That is a good spot though. If you get spotted from there, look at the amount of HP that's just been lost. And he's still alive now, but only barely. And that's a lot of HP to lose that quickly. That did not go as intended. Morty, move him back. U3 has the HP advantage by nearly 3k. They have the point advantage. And now we have U3 looking at their base A. Shots are being fired, but that one did no damage. Skilloid still there and alive, but barely. He does manage to reset that base though. And now we have Ikra reacting. And he does land a hit into Bilbo. But overall they have to be careful. They can't really afford to lose much more HP. And I know that Morty and someone else, they probably know that it's flexible, are there as well. White, potentially in trouble. He's getting shot at. Yevgeny is moving up. Base C is being taken. There you go. That means that they have a growing point advantage, which they really need. Akasun losing quite a bit of HP. Morty losing HP as well. But so is Darkside. Varta taking a big risk there, getting tracked. I'm going to eat a big shot there. Shots are being fired, but it doesn't seem to be that coordinated now. They're going after Magnitude. The JLA has been taken out. Base B is being taken. Magnitude is still alive, if barely. And that's not the kind of... You don't want to use those big shots for that. Base B is being taken. White is still alive, if barely. He's not going to survive this reload. And they're not coordinated enough. Not coordinated enough, I should say. That is a very important hit that needed to land. Still, there's a lot of one-shots there. Skilloid is still alive. Morty gets taken out. And they need to get those kills. Skilloid is out. There you go. That was needed. They have the advantage. They have the HP advantage. They know where both of them are. Ooh, that's not good. Base D is being taken. Oh, that's an important kill there. 973 points. As long as they stay alive, they will have this. There you go. He actually lands a 98 HP hit there. But the game is for Ikra. And we get a tiebreaker. Beautifully played. Again, fairly close, a bit chaotic. But well played. One minute, 16 seconds left to go before we go into the tiebreaker of this match on New Bay. The final game of the evening, regardless of what happens and who wins. After this we will know who is placed themselves for the top 16 and who will be back next qualifier. So, U3 is taking 2 60Ps, 2 E5s, 2 VK72s and IS4. And on Ikra's side they seem a bit undecided yet. And we have a VK72, 3 IS4s, 2 E5s and a Steve. And let's see. 20 seconds left. I do like tiebreakers. Basically, that just goes to show that teams are equal in skill, and it's more like who makes the most little mistakes, because they're not big mistakes that happen. And it looks like, oh my god, he did that, oh my god, why did he do that? But at the same time, these guys are so pro that they make very few mistakes, but they're also so pro that any mistake that is made is punished harshly by the others because they're also pro. And let's have a look at this deciding match for the evening. Ikra heading towards the base A side. U3 heading towards the base C side. I think they're hoping to catch some people unawares. But no one is being spotted. No caps are being capped. Now we have the JLA has been spotted. They know that there's someone down there as well. JLA wants to attack. First shot has been taken. Dark side. Landing a hit, has to be careful though. He's... ooh, big hits. Dirty magnitude. Losing some HP, but they seem to be a little bit hesitant to go after him. Psycho is there though. Shots are being fired. Flexible. Big hits happening. Oof, flexible now, losing HP. And they're all sort of like waiting for each other. U3 has the... that did 3 damage. I mean, it counts. Flexible pulling back. White switching positions, magnitude losing a little bit more HP there. Skilloid spotting Neep. Oof, Martha losing a lot of HP there. I'm not sure if that was as intended. And magnitude is still alive. Skilloid, however, might be in big trouble. Oof, big hits into Akasun as well. But basically, U3 is making it difficult for anyone to get an advantage there without paying dearly for it. Darkside is dealing with flexible. JLA going after Akasun. There's a lot of low HP targets now, both sides to be honest. Akasun is the first one gone. They're not really focusing on the same targets. Skilloid is the next one gone. They're pulsing, going after Dirty Magnitude has gone. Flexible is gone. But U3 has 2 bases. Ilbury gets taken out. Bobo gets taken out as well. And now it's just Niepier and Morty that are still alive. And there goes Neep. Always there he is. Darkside still alive. Has oof. That shot not penning. Darkside has been occupying multiple people at once. Massive kudos to him. He does not get the kill there, but Ikra is through to the top 16. And yes, these are ex-CIS teams. Both. So a lot of characters in the chat that we have no idea what's being said. Beautifully played both teams. This has been an absolute joy to watch and spectate because it's been a little bit chaotic. But pretty much all of the games have been close. So you see that the HP is dropping and people keeping their people alive for as long as possible. And then at some point people start dying and yeah. Great games. So massive congratulations on Ikra for going through. Let's have a quick look. This was the last match. And let's see. So Ikra is through. Then just to make sure, Appa is through as well. Raid, I think. Yeah, I'm just checking by the way. Raid is through and Quick is through to the top 16. So congratulations to Quick and Raid and Appa and of course Ikra for reaching the top 16. Commiserations to all the other teams, especially of course to U3, BPA, DBU and Wanted. That was the group that we were following tonight. And I really hope to see you again next qualifier. I will be streaming second and third day of that as well. But obviously not the first day because it's strongest versus weakest and it will be a bit of a walkover, so not doing that to myself or to you to fill the stream with that. Thank you all for watching. Thank you Ikra and U3 and of course Wanted and DBU as well for the beautiful gameplay that we've seen today. It's been absolutely wonderful. Thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it and I'll see you guys on Monday if I remember correctly. I think that's the second day of the third qualifier. But yeah, like I said, I'll be back for that one. And I'll see you all then. So have a good night all. And thank you for watching. And bye bye.